What's up, everybody, and welcome to Clubit TV show. We're back again. They haven't taken off the air yet. I'm Roger Knowles, and welcome where we talk about video games, movies, and other geeky stuff that we want to waffle on about and discuss and have a real good laugh with each other. But, of course, I am not alone. I am joined by Ed from GameHog.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Ed from GameHog. How are you? How are you all doing? I've been very ill, so I'm sorry if I sound a little bit off or a little bit deep or a little bit snuffly. I am going to be muting myself a lot to cough and splutter and everything, so I apologise. How are all of you? How have you guys been? But wait, it's not just me on the show. Who else is here, Roger?
We've also got James from Luke and James Play.
Yay! How's it going, guys? Thank you very much for having me.
But unfortunately, very sad to say that Luke from Luke and James Play isn't very well tonight, so he is not with us. So get well soon, Luke, and we will have you back next week for the Halloween special show, which will be next week.
Spooky.
We're not going to be able to do it the week of Halloween, so we're going to do it a week early. But no, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's good to have. It's good to be, I miss you guys. I enjoy our chats.
I know. I like these. They're kind of a nice little bright to my Wednesday, because I work during the day normally on a Wednesday, so it's a nice kind of tipper to the evening.
I get really nervous because when I'm planning stuff and I'm talking out topics, I get really sort of like a bit panicky about it and a bit stressed. And as soon as I literally get you guys on Discord, that all just disappears, like instantly.
Because you know we don't. We come across like we
That's
don't.
great.
It's like, yeah. But no, it's good to be back, guys. I enjoy it every week. Thank you so much for everybody who's already joined us. We did a bit of a pre-show where we test everything out and make sure everything's working correctly, and it is. We had no problems tonight.
A bit of a success this time. About time. Although we are missing one of the guests.
Yes,
so
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I suppose it can't all go smoothly.
Well, I was
Fun
quite surprised
fact.
because I thought, well, with YouTube having loads of problems, and then Sony's had like a week of problems of PlayStation's bricking because of random messages being sent to people, and then other issues of crashes and stuff like that. I thought, you know what? Just our luck, something else happened to us, but it didn't. We've got all the luck this week, so I'm happy. I'm happy. So, guys, before we get into the full show, what have we been up to this last week? Ed, do you want to go
That's a
first?
difficult one. I've basically been doing a lot of work. I've also been trying to very rigorously plan my MCM Comic-Con panel and appearance, because I'm meant to be showing off my new comedy sketch, which was written by my friend with a little bit of input from me, and then directed by him as well. And then it was shot by some really talented guys. I've been editing it, and I'm in it as well, along with that Jenny B, my girlfriend. And we're at the point where it's almost done. Basically, the only thing that he's doing is the director needs to give me some editing notes just so I can do some final tweaks. We need to get Jenny to record her voiceovers for some like montage bits. And then we need to get it color graded. And that's all lined up. It just all needs to happen by next Saturday, which is super cutting it fine. So
They're the best projects, though. You find that.
you guys may just be seeing an ungraded version at Comic-Con.
So
which
we're
isn't
gonna
the
have
end of the
something.
world. Yeah, you'll have something. The graded version, that's not the end of the world. The one that goes on YouTube will be graded, but the one that you guys see might just not. But realistically, most of you won't be able to tell. Like, you won't know what grading is. So you'll just be like, yeah, it looks great. But like to us, we'll be like, oh, it's raw footage and it could have so much more depth.
You do, though, when
you
it's your
know.
own project, and you're just like, oh my god, have you seen that
That's the
glaring
thing.
problem?
So to us, like, there's loads of bits that we've cut out, right? But no one who watches it will know that. So the sketch just kind of flows in this way. But there's loads of jokes where we're like, yeah, we wanted to keep that joke in, but it just didn't work with the timing or it didn't work with the flow. But I hope people enjoy it. It's very surreal and very strange and meant to be like funny and very stupid. So I hope people don't take it too seriously.
Gibran in the
strange.
Twitch comments has asked, when is the GameHog panel?
I believe it's Saturday at, let me just double check this in my emails.
So you'll catch him off guard, you see. See?
Yeah, you've caught me off guard. God damn it, I was not expecting this. I think it's on Saturday. I believe it's at about 3. I could be very, very wrong, but let me just see if I can double check. This is taking too
I think
long.
you chose
my
the
God.
2 to 2:45.
3 to 3 p.m. to 3:45 on Saturday is what I've been given.
There you go.
Oh.
3 p.m. to 3:45, a 45-minute panel. I was only expecting to do half an hour. I can't.
No, it's
bullshit
45
my way
minutes
through
now.
that. Okay, well.
I'll come. You see, if I was coming down, I'd just talk for 15 minutes for you. I'd be like, "Hi, everybody." Blah, 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 blah.
I'll just come on stage and we'll wrestle for 15 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. That sounds fine.
I tell you what,
I'll bring Lammy the llama.
You want a hype guy? Get the crowd going at the beginning and just get them called clapping and then cheering. Yeah. Come on.
Put your hands up. Yeah. Exactly. That's what we kind of need more of.
I'll see you later, Nether.
And then,
Jabron's going to make it. Nice. Jabron's going to be able to come down to my panel, which is going to be fun. I hope all of you guys can come to the panel next weekend at MCM Comic Con. So, Jim, what about you? What have you been up to? Or Roger,
I have just been playing Call of Duty, basically.
You have. Every time I'm on my computer, it goes, whoop, in the corner with Stingmore is now playing.
Yeah,
How did your long live stream go?
It was all right. Yeah, I didn't expect like big numbers because of just it's a big game and it's very oversaturated in that sense. But I had a great day. I had some really good stuff going on between it. We played with a lot of different people, so really
sadly, unfortunately, I was hoping to get it on PC to be able to play with you during the live stream, but unfortunately, my CPU on my PC was just a little bit.
Yeah, it said it wasn't going to do it. Was it?
But I did jump in and watch it. I believe it was yourself, Luke, Ed, and Gibran were playing Blackout mode, and Ed was doing his "I'm going to hide in the grass" technique, which is exactly what I do. I do the exact same thing.
But you won as a result.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I've won. Listen, I'm ready just to hang up my blackout,
quit while you're ahead.
I'm done. I won one game. Admittedly, I had an assistance with my friend. Luckily, to be honest, he had no clue what we were doing. And I'm just like, act like the Battle Royale pro. I was like, yes, see, the bubble's about to come in now, and so it's going to go into the white circle. And but yes, we actually beat everybody, and we only killed 2 people. So it was like...
That's fine.
Yeah, we did the in the grass, going prone, and then not move. Because it is... I got to ask one thing... We'll get into this, actually, the topic. First topic of the show...
Hey, segue.
We're going to do a review on Black Ops 4. This is the first ever review we've done. So I'll just put the lower third on so it shows up. There we go. So yeah, so this is the first ever time we've ever done this on the show. But seeing that this is a game that we've all played and we've all got, obviously you guys got it on PC. I purchased it on PlayStation 4. Let's discuss our thoughts on Black Ops 4. James, to see that you were the one who's played considerably more than a lot of us, I think you are the best person to probably take this up first. So let's just leave Blackout just off to one side at the moment. Let's talk about the normal multiplayer. How much of that have you played?
A lot. I think I'm on about 16, 17 hours at the moment, level 49. So nearly prestiged, nearly.
What day are we on?
Yeah.
How long's
and I'm
the
also
game
like
been
quite a
out?
high level in zombies as well. So.
My God. So what are your impressions on the general multiplayer then?
It's good. There's been some really good changes and stuff from the beta and stuff like that. Like just very minor, just bug fixes, things like that. But it's really good. It's the best Call of Duty has been in a long time. I think they found a really, really good balance between having sort of like all the powers and not. So I think we went way too far with like Advanced Warfare with the jetpacks and the wall running and all that sort of stuff. So I think we've not gone back to fully boots on the ground, but we found a really happy medium in between where it's not infuriating but fair for everybody. And yeah, it's just in a really good state at the moment, I think. And the map design is amazing.
They've repeated a lot of the same map because like this is like I've played it very little, I have to admit. Like most of my time has been in Blackout, but the multiplayer that I've played, I was a bit like, because I think I played about 8 goes on Team Deathmatch, and I think it was like 6 out of the 8 rounds were old maps, and I was like, is there any new ones? And it wasn't until I got
like the old maps though.
Oh, I do.
The old maps are one of the best bits.
I was quite surprised how many they repeated.
Yeah, there are some new maps in there because obviously it's really divided on this one. But with the new maps, they are very different. They're basically effectively they're the same layout as in imagine. Best way of picturing the layout is exactly the same as if you was to line it out on paper. However, what's in the map and just how it's constructed is completely different. even down to the old ones were very level. Some of these maps are now completely level. Changes the way it's played completely.
Jungle's very similar though.
Jungle's
Yes.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Jungle's identical.
There's one called Slums. I can't remember
Yeah,
Slums.
Slums, yeah.
I don't remember the names of a lot.
I know,
I just remember when I see the picture, I go, that one. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I know that one.
Slums, for example, has been changed quite considerably. Like that's
it's
different.
shooting range in this one or firing?
Firing range, that's exactly the same as
I
well.
love firing range. I haven't got into a game with that yet.
No,
Yeah, dude, it's great.
No, the map circles are actually pretty good. I've only got the standard edition, so I don't get any bonus maps, and I still haven't seen a lot.
Well, there aren't any bonus maps anyway in multiplayer anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, like, obviously, I'm literally handling a lot of this. Ed, I know you're not very well, so I'm not trying to push you too much on talking. So I'm leaning on you a lot here, James. So be prepared.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So heading over to blackout mode. Obviously, we discussed this a lot on the previous show when we discussed about the beta. But obviously, with the new release, is there much different from the final release to the beta version?
Not a huge amount, no.
And what are your personal thoughts? Like, obviously, again, we're covering a lot of ground that we did last week, but what are your personal thoughts on Blackout mode as being a battle royale in its entirety?
It's great. It's absolutely unreal.
I think we mentioned that before, didn't we? That it's one of the best shooter games there is. So why would you not adapt that to the
most FPS games strive to have the shooting mechanics of Call of Duty. So when you put that very well balanced and fleshed out like game already into a battle royale, it's just it's like it should have been the whole time. It's just so perfect for it. It's great.
Like Gibran in the chat has mentioned that the way that some of the maps have changed they've added a few corridors and stuff to make use of the mechanic of crouch sliding. But because they took out the exosuit stuff, they've had to remove a lot of those
correct,
kind of things.
So you don't have the wall running either.
Because I didn't like the wall running you mentioned before. I didn't like that. I'm glad they've taken that out. Because it felt that was one mechanic that if they didn't have before, I would have gone, yeah, this is just the same. Yeah, I've been very much enjoying it. The blackout mode's quite difficult for me, I find, because I'm not that great at shooting in Call of Duty, and also everyone seems to always have better armor than I do, and so I can unload several mags into them and they don't seem to die. Call of Duty seems to suffer from the same problems that it's always historically suffered from with me, which is I'll unload an entire mag into someone and they don't die, but they shoot me twice and I die. And I'll scream, and it'll never get fixed. I think isn't that something to do with their latency and their server, the way they're...
No, it comes down to just pure accuracy. It's like if you're mostly going for body shots and your opponent's getting all headshots. So, for example, it's 7 bullets to the chest to kill, but only 3 to the head. So it's going to be vastly different.
I find Call of Duty in the past a very infuriating game in itself. It's like, because I'm not a very good first-person shooter. I do okay. I used to do all right in World War II. I used to have moments of I would call excellence. I was like, oh my god, I'm actually good. And then I do another round and then do absolute diabolical. But I have to admit, what I do like about how they've set up Black Ops 4 is that it's got a nice, like as if they spent a lot of time on every section of Black Ops. So you've got obviously Blackout, you've got the traditional multiplayer, and then you've got the zombie mode, and each one feels not like it's been tacked on. It feels like it's got multiple layers to it. Yeah. And Blackout is like when I played it, I played a little bit of Fortnite, played a very, very small amount of PUBG. But I do feel like this one is a great introduction to Battle Royale games, and it's very, very easy to understand. Because I was a bit concerned, like, obviously I was speaking to you guys last week about it. I hadn't played the beta, so I didn't really know what to expect. And the one area that I was a bit concerned about was the item picking up and how adding modifications to your gun works. And like, well, is it going to become fiddly? Is it going to be a problem picking them up? And then is it going to auto-attach? Is it things like that? That was what was running through my head. But the way they've got it set up in the controls, obviously on PlayStation 4, is literally, I think it's like triangle to auto-equip or square to pick up and things like that. And it feels very right. It just seems to work. And then after a game, 1 or 2 games, you start doing the things and you don't really need to think about it. It's just instantly, like, it makes sense straight away. And I think that's probably one of the best things where it'll introduce to a lot of new players the style of gameplay. And it's easy to understand as well. It's very, like, they've got the little bar on the side of the screen, which I didn't know about before playing, where it literally tells you where the bubble is in comparison to you and where you need to be. That is amazing. I was like, fine. This is really for me as a sort of between casual and like I'm gonna say hardcore gamer, but
That's in PUBG though.
PUBG does have it, yeah.
Ah, see, again, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But,
I actually uninstalled PUBG because of this game. Because I've been hating PUBG recently. I don't play it. When I do, it's a buggy mess and it doesn't feel very good anymore. I'm not really enjoying it, so I uninstalled it because I actually enjoy playing this one. And when I do get tired of it, I just log out and go into the regular multiplayer, which is a different kind of experience whilst being the same thing.
This is one thing that I said to Luke the other day. I was like, I can see myself playing this game so much because of the fact that I love all 3 modes the same amount, and they're all so good. It's, as soon as I get bored of one, I can transition to the other, and then the other, and then I'll want to go back to the first one again. So I'm in this constant vicious cycle. I don't need to go anywhere else now.
I'm exactly.
I get bored of zombies though. Historically, I've always found zombies very boring.
You're doing it wrong.
Maybe you're right. But I don't know, like, I kind of just get a bit tired of it. Like, it's fun to do once, and then I go, oh, I'm not going to touch that.
But do you get into the stories? Do you do the stories in them? Do you do the Easter eggs, the bosses? See, that's where all the fun is. It has a whole storyline, and doing the bosses, because, like, for example, you know the one we were playing in Rome?
Yeah.
That's got 2 giant elephants that you fight at the very end in a whole new arena. You teleport to a whole new arena and then fight these 2 giant mammoth elephant things.
That sounds fun.
And then you're doing that, yeah. So, but there's all you have to do. Like, you have to build a trap and then put a skull in the trap and then turn it on and it melts it down into a scorpion. And you put that in the box and it turns into a scorpion weapon. And then you have to do a load of challenges, put powder in a bowl, set it off. All
that's
this sort
what
of stuff.
I like about it is that each section is so different.
Yeah.
And I'll play team. I'm not very over experimental when it comes to the traditional multiplayer on it. I play team deathmatch, and I played a little bit of Conquest? Not Conquest.
Domination.
Domination. Is it where you have to have the objectives? One team has to hold the positions to take them, and then the other team has to defend.
Domination is when there's 3 on the map. And you have to control as many of them at once.
There is another.
You might be thinking of Hardpoint where it moves. There's just one, and then there is
another mode that I was playing where
headquarters, isn't it?
Is it headquarters? Something like that. It was a bit like
that.
No,
headquarters is the one where it moves.
It was basically the one team attacks, the other team defends, and you've got like so many tickets on the game.
I know the one you're on about. Yes,
I played a bit of that one. That was quite good fun. That was quite good fun. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's new for this one. Yeah.
If anybody in chat could let
us
know what that's called.
Search and Destroy, I'm always a big fan of because it's very tense. You get a lot of XP per kill.
Slow right down as well. It's different sort of pacing. Yeah. I guess that is kind of like almost early version of Battle Royale in some ways because obviously it's like instant kill. You have to wait for the next game to start and things like that. But it's like if I get frustrated. Control, yeah. Nice one, Gibran. Thank you. Control's really, really good. I like that one. But when you get frustrated with multiplayer, the traditional one, it's like, fuck, I can't get any kills. And I go, ooh, I'll play Battle Royale. And then I play Battle Royale for a bit. And I've kind of been jumping back and forth between the two. When it comes to zombie mode, I don't play a lot of it. But when I do, it's usually when if some of my friends are available to play, I'll have a few beers and we'll just sort of piss about and see how far we can get through. Like me and one of my other friends, we're quite into it, so we're trying to look out to see how the puzzles are solved and what to do. My other couple of friends don't really give a shit. And they just kind of like follow our lead and they follow what we do. But it's because it's so different. And having the zombies mode with multiple difficulties as well. And bots as well in the game now. It's adding different layers of enjoyment. So if you don't fancy going for it full hardcore, you don't have to. Go for casual and just chill out, piss about, shoot some zombies, see how far you can get and have some fun. And I really like that. And it seems like they've really thought out each section of Call of Duty in this game. And I have not missed the campaign in the slightest.
No, I haven't. I haven't even given it a thought that it's missing.
I don't know. There's a little there's a story trailer, isn't there?
There is a story. Because the thing is, there is actually a story to it though. But basically, if you go in the main menu, if you go to they're called operators. So if you go to operators HQ, there is basically training missions. So every operator has a training mission that you can do, and every single time you do it, it unlocks a video, and it slowly takes you through the story of Black Ops 4. So there is kind of like a single player,
That
but
seems
it's
like an
basically training
arduous
for
way of telling a
multiplayer.
story.
It's actually quite good fun.
To be honest, I was thinking about this the other day. Why did they even bother doing this? And it's probably to give the game a form of identity.
Yeah,
Because-
To justify the 50 quid purchase fee.
The first video is so entrancing though, because like at one point this woman, she gets like a mouth blown out, and it really
Quite graphic.
like grabs you into the story instantly.
I think
So-
it's like, I think whenever I think of some of the previous Call of Duties that I've played, I kind of always think of like one character from the campaign as like, usually it's whoever's on the box art, basically. And usually obviously that's someone who's quite important to the story. And I think that's probably why they've done this, just so then when you think of it, obviously you think of, I think, to be honest, when you think of Black Ops 4 going forward, you'll think of the Battle Royale mode, but they can still have a visual reference to that game, if that makes sense. Something along those lines. Anyway, guys, let us know down in the chat. Have you been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4? Have you preferred Blackout over the traditional multiplayer? Have you not bothered with Blackout? Do you prefer the zombie mode over all the other ones? You know, like, you might only prefer that bit. Let us know down in the comments. Like I said, I saw you guys, Ed, you play very similar, or at least in that one I saw when you were playing with Gibran, Luke and James. You play like I do. I stick to the grass. I keep my belly to the floor, and I crawl.
Confident, that's what I do, because I can't always win a gunfight, but I can win surviving.
It works as well.
That's the way I play.
It's like, and if you're lucky and you come across some decent guns, you're like, I'm in here. I'm going to be in top 5. That's usually what I always think. I'm like, I might not win it, but I'm going to be in top 5. But yeah. So yeah, like I say, guys, let us know down in the comments what you think to it. Obviously, the one thing I haven't mentioned during this live stream, we're doing a competition, as we do on our live streams. It's a very Nintendo-themed competition this week. We're giving away some large plushies. I'll just bring up the image so you guys can check it out. Basically, it's a choice of prize. So basically, there's 4 up to grabs. You choose which one you want. So one winner can choose at the end of the live stream. We've got Luigi, we've got Mario, we've got Yoshi. What's the little mushroom one called again? Toad, thank you.
Come on, Roger.
I'm sorry. And also, I believe there's, I haven't got an image for him, but he's also Cooper as well, available.
I noticed you hesitated and started with Luigi. I was like, he doesn't know who Toad is.
I know he was the mushroom guy. Thanks, Ed. But yeah, so basically, to enter this week's competition, we've got a bit of a task for you to do, okay? So, because we want to get the word out there of the live stream, which is every Wednesday at 8 p.m., just in case you didn't know, on Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Twitter. Trying to get my words out. What we want you to do is head over to our Facebook page, which is Clubit, and share this live stream and like it as well. So if you share it, what we'll do is at the end in the post show at the end of the live stream, what I'll do is I'll jump onto Facebook and I'll see who shared it, and I'll pick a winner at random and we'll contact you. And
Are we on camera, or is it still the plushies?
Oh, sorry, the plushie's still on camera. There we go. Then we're back again. So yeah, so if you're a winner, you can choose one of the plushies. But like I said, head up to our Facebook page, share the live stream, and you'll be instantly entered into the competition. And there we go. Very easy. Very, very easy.
Easy.
If you're watching the edited version of the live stream or on our podcast, which is now available on SoundCloud, and hopefully, once iTunes approve it, will be on iTunes as well. If you're listening there, unfortunately, obviously the competition has ended, but head over to any of our social media channels and watch the live stream, obviously live, and then you can enter the competition and you get all the extras at the beginning and the end as well. Anyway, guys, on to our next topic of the live stream. We have got, so basically on Friday, be interested to see what you guys actually are on this topic, because I haven't really spoken to you too much about it. Daredevil Season 3 is available on Netflix on Friday. And Ed's looking overly confident on this one.
I hate these shows.
So actually, Ed, go for it first, bud. What's your opinion on the Season 1 and Season 2, if you've watched them, of Daredevil on Netflix?
I watched bits of it with my brother, and I just, like, basically, all I will say is, it's got some great cinematography in it. In fact, there's one very long, I believe it's 5 minutes, I might be wrong, but there's a really long single shot, one take of this entire fight scene that was choreographed perfectly, and it lasts for ages. And that is genius. And so big points for that. The rest of it kind of sucks. I just didn't enjoy, well, at least for me it does. I don't enjoy it. I just kind of thought this isn't as good as any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff that I really enjoy. Because that's really why you're trying to watch it, is because people going, I like the Marvel movies, let's see a Netflix series of it. And they're kind of shit. Like, at least it's better than the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Oh god, yeah, jeez, like, yeah.
Have you seen that film? That film is awful.
That
it's just like there's so many problems with that movie.
The CGI,
well, it's more the plot problems.
Well, like, that as well. But have you seen the CGI and Bullseye's where Daredevil and him fight, and they're not there at all? It's pure CGI, and they're fighting up the organ, and it's just like why? Just have them fight on the ground. Why are we flipping up and going up?
Well, I remember it starts with a guy who raped someone, and they're in the court case, and then he gets away with it, and the guy goes into the camera, and you're thinking, is that not your first clue? Maybe he would have got prison if she got a decent defense lawyer who doesn't spend his whole night prancing about on the rooftops in latex. Do your job.
Yeah, I'm going to say, to be honest,
away with it.
As a lawyer in that, at least that's what Netflix does do. It actually does show him off as being actually good at his job. But I have to admit, sorry, James, have you watched any of the Daredevil on Netflix?
I have, yeah.
Oh, he's frozen on me.
We
may have lost James.
Well, he looks like he's mid-sneeze in the freeze frame that we've got of him. But that'll be fine. Hang on. If he drops out the call, we're going to suddenly rearrange.
Yes, we will. We'll hold on for a bit. Anyway, I'll talk about Daredevil. It's all right. Don't worry. I personally quite enjoyed the... I really, really enjoyed the first season. Really, really enjoyed it, and a lot of that was down to the choreography. And when I watched some of the fight scenes, it kind of gave me a bit of a feel of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Some of the fight choreography. I see what you mean. And actually, I found out later on that the fight choreographer is actually the same person who worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I was like, I can start one saying.
So weird.
Yeah. It was really weird. I remember thinking about it. It was really strange. However, he didn't work on the second season, and it was shot and filmed differently. It just didn't work as well, and it just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't click, and it's almost like as if. And I believe that the guy who did a lot of the fight choreography and filming of that bit moved on. And I don't really know the reasons why we went on to do something else, but you could tell. And the second season just seemed a little bit as if they tried to push the Punisher character in a little bit too much. Like, if they'd just focused on the Punisher and Daredevil all the way through the season, that'd have been fine. But then they were
Punisher's apparently really good.
It's really good. But it's very, very
Is that
graphic.
a Netflix one?
That is a Netflix one as well. Very, very. It is quite slow and steady.
Right.
But when it kicks off on any of the fight scenes, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, there's some massive gory scenes in this. To be honest, there is in season 2 of Daredevil as well. Like, no spoilers, but basically the Punisher gets a... Oh, there we go.
Oh, there he's gone.
Doing it live. Well, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Yeah.
Don't worry if you're listening to the audio, but hang on, wait. I'll rearrange my face so I'm a bit more
there we go.
in frame. Okay.
I don't see a problem here at all.
when he joins back in, I think I went off screen. There we go. Okay, we're fine.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, wait. Okay, move back.
If you're listening to the audio version,
sorry about this.
James just popped off for a moment.
I am here. I've got no video at the moment, but I'm here, so I should be back with video in any moment.
Don't worry. Enjoy Jim's small avatar of himself.
I almost want it to be animated and just wave, like.
Or one of those Adobe things where it captures your face on the webcam.
That would be quite cool.
That'd be a great way of doing the podcast. I'll rig up one of my hogs. Whoa!
Wow! Have we gone mobile?
Right. We're mobile at the moment.
That'll do.
That's fine.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
You look like you're in a 4:3 aspect ratio in your thing. So we got you in a 90 VHS.
As I was saying, so season 2 didn't really capture me too much. It was all right. I enjoyed the Punisher bits. They were definitely the highlight of season 2. I said one of the scenes, not a spoiler or anything, but the Punisher's like getting tortured, and they put a drill through his foot, and I was just like, oh my god! And it was very graphic, which is, as much as obviously Daredevil is very hard hitting. When I saw that, I was like, Jesus, they've just kind of gone on a slightly different direction here.
Yeah.
But that's very much the tone of the Punisher series. I'm looking forward to this new one that's coming out Friday, because the one thing that they did do wrong, which personally for me, and they did with the Defenders series, which includes Luke Cage and the Iron Fist, was it was very mystical. And it was all about...
Was that just cancelled?
Yes, the Iron Fist has just been cancelled and not renewing it for a 3rd season. That was shit. Don't bother. It really was poor. Really, that was... Yeah, anyway. I couldn't really get into Luke Cage one either, but Daredevil's definitely been my favourite out of all these Netflix series of them.
Gibran says there's a Daredevil Easter egg. Jim's back in full HD. Gibran says there's an Easter egg in the new Spider-Man game that says you can find a card from a blind lawyer that says, or you get a card from a blind lawyer, and he tells him that if Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer, give him a call, and that's Daredevil.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cheers, Gibran. So I'm looking forward to the 3rd season, mainly because by looking at the trailer, it looks like they're going to try and bring it a little bit more realistic and grounded. And basically, one thing that I think it's something to do with that there's going to be an imposter, and they're bringing back the Kingpin into the 3rd season, and that's going to be... I love the Kingpin from the 1st season, by the way.
He is great.
And so that aspect of it I'm looking forward to, and really trying to bring it more what Daredevil was in the 1st season, rather than trying to go all this like Dragon Bone shit that they did in the 2nd one and in the Defenders. But let us know down in the comments what you think to the Daredevil series, and are you looking forward to it?
Which superhero would you like to see in a Netflix series? That's an interesting question.
That is a really good question. Has anybody heard of Moon Knight?
No.
I played a video game with him in it once, and I was like, who the is Moon Knight?
I've only ever heard about Moon Knight.
I'd never heard about him at all, but it was just one video game, and we actually made a joke about it on my YouTube channel, and the video was called "Who the is Moon Knight," and we just played as him for like an hour or two. But yeah, so Gibran says easy Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, but we've got Tom Holland doing movies. I don't need Spider-Man series for that. I just need good movies. The new movie, Far From Home, looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Have you seen the new suit?
I think that, I was just about to say, I think they're setting up Miles Morales, you know. Are you aware of how the Ultimate Universe ends for Peter Parker?
I vaguely, very vaguely. Does he?
So, spoilers for the graphic novel, but frankly, if you haven't read this, you never will, so it doesn't matter. But in Spider-Man Ultimate, which is now dead and gone now, that series is finished, Peter Parker is confronted by all of the Sinister Six, and they are all really hungry to get him. And somehow, I can't remember the exact circumstances, but basically his identity is out there now. Everyone knows who he is. While he's fighting them, his mask is off, and he's got like shattered ribs and everything. And he gets killed. But he defeats them first and is lying there kind of broken and battered. And Aunt May and everyone and Mary Jane like running over and going, like, are you okay? You okay? Stay with us. And he just goes, did you see? I did it. I got the bad guys. And then he dies. And it's so tragic. But then Miles Morales takes over. And I think they might be setting that up because, unless I'm wrong, the suit looks awfully similar to Miles Morales.
It does, because he's wearing like the
black.
Red with the black rather than the blue, which I think is a licensing thing as well. This is where it comes, I believe, as well. Don't hold me to this. Because Marvel created Miles Morales after they did the deal with Sony, when they sold the film rights, Disney owns Miles Morales character.
There it is.
So basically,
so the 3rd film, there it is. They're gonna kill off Peter Parker, and then there'll be a new trilogy of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then Sony can do whatever they want.
You're hearing it here first. Considering they're adding in Mysterio into the next one, spoiler alert, but they're adding Mysterio as one of the main villains of the next one. He might be only one of several, because apparently, I think someone said they've seen Scorpion about.
Spider.
I could be wrong.
Yes, I think So there's like little bits of information being dropped, isn't there?
Yeah, so I think this is setting up the Sinister Six, which, bear in mind, is what Amazing Spider-Man 2 tried to do, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 got dropped because it was garbage. And so, like, but in the post-credit scene of 1 or 2, it has the Rhino suit, it has the wings, it has the scorpion tail. It's setting up the Sinister Six. Yep. And the way you set the Sinister Six to tie in with Miles Morales is to kill off Peter Parker. And considering they made Peter Parker so popular by making it Tom Holland, they're going to make that really bad. Tom Holland is too early in his career, in his Spider-Man career. It doesn't matter.
Well,
if they're copying the Ultimate Universe, which they kind of are.
Well, technically, they've already killed him off. Spoilers, by the way. Shit. Yeah, but they're filming the next one. Luke actually says...
There's a Spider-Man 2!
There is an animated movie with Miles in. Yes, there is. There keeps a couple of trailers being released, and I believe it's kind of... They're combining a lot of the Spider-Verses together. Is that a word?
Yeah, so that looks amazing.
Looks really good. So, like, Peter Parker's older, Miles Morales, you've got Spider-Gwen, who I think is the most fucking awesomest Spider
She's
version.
Sick. I love Spider-Gwen.
I love her outfit. It's unbelievable.
Have you seen the way, also, there's such detail in the animation. Have you seen every time she lands, she's on ballet point, like a ballerina?
No, no.
Like, little details like that make her so awesome. Is that she'll jump off a building and land on the floor, but on point, on both her feet, and then, like, you know, landing Spider-Man.
If they had to do a Netflix version of Spider-Man, do Spider-Gwen, but do it right.
Absolutely. I'd be all for Spider-Gwen. And yeah, because that's a perfect way of doing a franchise everyone loves, Spider-Man, with the kind of 2018 obsession of recasting people who were originally, or redesigning characters that were originally men as women, or vice versa. Just go for a character that's already established very confidently as a strong woman, which is Spider-Gwen, and make that good. Kind of like Captain Marvel, you know? That's going to be a great film.
To be honest, I'm surprised they haven't sort of hinted at anything of Spider-Gwen in the actual first Homecoming film. I thought they might just do a little bit of something, because I really would like to. And also, Spider-Gwen is, again, same as Miles Morales, was created after the Sony film deal. So I'm presuming that that's a similar situation with Disney.
Maybe. Gibran's suggesting that they won't do that because Peter Parker's older. But I don't think he is in the Ultimate Universe. In Spider-Man Ultimate, he's young. And that's the thing, is also, even if they aren't, like, because they're not directly taking from anything for these films, they could very easily take the ending of the Ultimate Universe and a sort of different instance of how because Miles Morales recently got a new origin, actually, in the graphic novels. Yeah, so they could take any of these new origins, put them together, and make a new trilogy or make a new Spider-Man film.
It wouldn't spider me.
It's also a really great way of adding
without
having to recast people or anything.
I think it's a really good way of Disney being able to carry on the Spider-Man universe when they drop Spider-Man, because they could literally start doing different versions of Spider-Man. Once maybe Miles Morales' characters maybe gone on for so many years, then bring Spider-Gwen into it and do things like that, and just keep. And then they could even bring in the original Spider-Man back into it, but if he's from a different dimension, it just looks slightly different because that's how they play it, you know. And say,
they've missed an opportunity to have Tobey Maguire or Andrew, preferably Tobey Maguire, but as a pizza delivery guy or something.
Yeah.
Like, surely.
I was surprised he didn't do a cameo. I thought Disney might have been like, yeah, we'll have.
I think they will for like one of the last ones. Just as a no, it depends on the director, I guess. But also, is it because it's Fox? It doesn't matter. You're casting a guy. It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
They're saying, it'll be interesting. I kind of hope that Disney do get back all the rights to all the characters again, because I'm really looking forward to seeing where the superhero franchise is going.
Well, it's going down the route of streaming and making series on their Disney platform.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a massive thing when that hits. Anyway, guys, let us know down in the comments. Obviously, we got a little bit off track. We went from Daredevil Netflix to chatting to different Spider-Verse origin stories and things like that. But let us know down in the comments what you think. Let us know. Actually, I tell you what. Let us know and come back to us if you do watch the third season of Daredevil, and let us know what you think to it, because I'm going to be watching this weekend. I'm a lot more busier than I am when the first season drops, so I don't think I'll be able to binge watch them as I used to be able to, but I'll be trying to watch at least a few episodes before we're back next week, and maybe we'll have a little chat about it either in the pre-show or in the post-show next week. So let us know down in the comments or next week. Anyway, guys, we have got a brand new segment.
Gasp!
I know.
Oh, damn.
So the new segment is called Suggestion of the Week. I'll try and do an animation or something if you like to make it look a bit more. So basically, guys, because we want to kind of throw a lot of things at you and try and work out what you guys also like, and so what we thought, we would do one segment where we all choose something that we personally like, whether it be films, TV series, books, apps, softwares, video games, games on your phone, anything, absolutely anything, what we like and we think you might not necessarily know about, but we think you might enjoy. So, have we all got something to talk about?
Yeah. I didn't, but one just came to mind, actually.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go to James first, and Ed, I'll let you have a little think about, obviously, what you want to say.
Sure.
James, what would you like to put forward for suggestion of the week?
So there was a TV show that I caught an episode of once years ago. It's a really old one. It's not running anymore. It only ended up with 2 seasons and a film that tried to revive it, basically. But it's a show called Dead Like Me. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it.
The name rings a bell. I don't know why.
So without giving any spoilers or anything like that, I'll give you a rough idea as to what the TV show is about. So this girl called Georgia, she's 18 years old, and straight away in the very first episode, it's literally as the scene opens, she gets hit by a toilet seat that falls from the National Space Station. So
Nice.
the toilet seat falls from the National Space, comes down and hits her and kills her, 18 years old. So obviously you're like, oh no, she's dead and blah, blah, blah. But she ends up being recruited as a Grim Reaper.
All right.
So there's this whole, it's basically like a job for the afterlife. Basically, these people are Grim Reapers. It's not the traditional Grim Reaper with a scythe idea. So basically, they take people that have died and they basically say, you can be a Grim Reaper. So what you do is you touch someone and take their soul right before they die so that they don't die with pain and things like that. And then they get moved on to wherever they're going. But they live like normal people amongst us, but they look different.
Is a lot of Bleach.
To living people.
I've never seen that one either.
But obviously, as she's only 18 years old, she's trying to deal with the fact that she's died so young, and trying to deal with the fact that obviously she's
still living her life as well.
Yeah, so she looks different. So to the living, she looks
seen?
different.
Yeah,
she can be seen, but she looks different. So like if her mum saw her, she would look like a different person. But she could say, "I'm Georgia, look," but obviously she looks different, so she might not believe her.
Can she touch people and not take the soul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because that would be a bugger.
It's a conscious thing that
shake my hand.
Like, go up to
oh
them
shit!
And, like, just touch them, like stroke. But obviously, she has to come to terms with the fact that obviously sometimes she has to reap children, so she's like dealing with this whole fair. Why is it fair that we die young and all that sort of stuff? Because if they don't reap them, then there's consequences. I'm not going to tell you what the consequences are because
you sold me. You sold me.
I'm really interested by this.
But it depends on how people are killed as well, because like everyone has their own department. So she deals specifically with one people, but there's even reapers for pets and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So and there's all different like people that live in different cities that are all reapers and stuff like that. But the weird thing is the reapers themselves move on, but only once they've reaped a unknown amount of souls. So everyone is assigned a certain amount of souls to reap. They don't know what that number is, and as soon as they've reaped their last one, they then move on to the afterlife. But they don't know when that will happen. It could be 2 souls, it could be 5,000 souls, but it's just an amazing TV show. It's really, really funny. Yeah, it's really funny as well. It's fantastic, but unfortunately it only ran for 2 seasons. However, don't get discouraged by that because it doesn't leave you on too much of a cliffhanger, because then basically they came back with a film to try and basically end the series in a way that if it never got revived, it wasn't disappointing for everyone.
Which luckily it did, yeah.
But they basically put the film out there to see if there was enough of a following still to revive it. It didn't, unfortunately, but it was a really nice ending
what was the
to
film
the series.
Was it called the same thing?
It's called Dead Like Me, and then it's, I can't remember what the
subtitle,
the title of, but yeah, so it's very easy to find. It's not hard, but yes, great TV show, great.
Dead Like Me. That was a good suggestion, man. I've never ever heard of that.
It's
like Ed says, you have sold me on that. I'm going to check that out this weekend.
It's a really nice look on the afterlife Grim Reaper genre, because it's very human as well. Like it, because they are human. They don't have they have all the same memories. because obviously all she wants to do is go back to her family because she's 18 years old. She's still a kid.
So young, and she's feeling conflicted, and she wants to go with them. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. So, thank you very much, James.
You sold me on that completely.
Well, and truly. Ed, do you need a little bit more time, or
no? I mean, I can talk easily, but I don't know which one to suggest. I've kind of got a handful, but because of what Jim suggested, I don't know whether to go for another series that sounds equally as like mystifying by its synopsis, or to go for something different. I think for the sake of balance, I might go for something different and then go for the exciting series another time.
When we were chatting about this over WhatsApp, I'd literally made a list of different ones because I started getting ideas. I'm like, oh god, I could mention that. I can mention this. Worth making a list because otherwise, I'll if you're like me, I'll forget.
I've got kind of. I don't have a long synopsis like Jim does, but I've got two slightly smaller ones, I guess. The first one I'd say is that, like, my recommendation in terms of an app at the moment is Pokemon Go. And I know that sounds incredibly outdated and slightly strange. However, there's two reasons I'm suggesting that. Number one, the new generation, i.e. Generation 4, the Diamond and Pearl ones, they just dropped, or at least 24 of those Pokemon have, and they will begin rolling out the other ones like the Legendaries, and the more difficult one is the evolutions of the other Pokemon, because there's a lot of items involved that haven't been implemented into the game yet, but those will come, and that's very exciting. The second reason you should do that is because the new upcoming Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee games are coming out on the 16th of November, I think. And basically, there's actually a connectivity between Pokemon Go. Admittedly, you can't transfer Johto or Johto or Hoenn or Sinnoh Pokemon, but you can transfer the original 151. Something else I'd like to encourage people to do if they are getting back into Pokemon Go, you may find you reach this point where you've caught most of the Pokemon, you've done most of the kind of special research quests to get Mew or Celebi or the like, and then it turns into a bit of a grind of just updating your Pokedex, powering up your Pokemon. Something I really recommend doing is finding yourself, there's lots of websites that can help you with this, but finding yourself a local Pokemon Go group with lots of like-minded people such as yourselves, and it's never an intimidating experience. Everyone there is very friendly, and they want more people to come in because you need as many people as possible. At the moment, Mewtwo is a 5-star raid, and you cannot do that solo. You could do some smaller raids solo, but they're quite tough. You need at least 5 to 6 of you to be able to do this. I recently joined one maybe a month ago, and I've had a wonderful time. I've gone out so many evenings with these guys just up my road. I walk for 10 minutes and then meet up with a huge amount of them, and we'll walk for 2 hours going and just raiding and chatting and trading Pokemon with each other. It's a really sociable experience.
It's a great way of meeting new people as well.
Well, yeah, it's a great way to meet new people, but it also captures the essence of what made Pokemon Go so wonderful in its initial release, because the first month of Pokemon Go coming out was a frenzy. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to be doing a Do You Remember episode on Pokemon Go. Not that Pokemon Go's dead, but it did die because it started off as the most popular thing since crack, and then dropped off, and then now is on its comeback, and apparently is now more popular than it was during its hype. So that's pretty impressive. They managed to come back from being, that amazing to dead to back again. That is quite a hard feat. And it's just really, really worth doing, I think.
And like you said, it's tying into the new game, which is coming out next month, which I believe I spotted on Facebook as I was scrolling. They basically turned around and said that if you have never played Pokemon before, this is a really good introductory for you into the world of Pokemon.
It's caused quite a lot of divide, mechanics. Really.
Yeah, massively. But the people who dislike it are idiots, because basically what this is doing is you can't stick with the same format forever. Pokemon has been the same since 1996, and it's fucking boring now. Switch it up a bit. Pokemon Go is at least a bit of a change from that. So if you adopt some of those mechanics into Let's Go, it becomes a different game. Yeah. It's more fun. Overworld is more beautiful, but you don't randomly encounter Pokemon in grass. You physically see them now. That's amazing. You can have any of your Pokemon following you. Admittedly, you could do that in other games, but it looks great now. They're proportionally correct, and you can ride them. That's amazing. It's got so much stuff. You could play 2 players with someone sat next to you.
That is amazing.
Party, and you could get double capture bonuses. That's amazing. There is nothing bad about this game. People go, it's not competitive enough. Well, go back to your old games then. They're not going anywhere. Shut up. Stop whinging.
And the good
Switch
thing about
games are going to be great.
As well, because it's on Switch, it's mobile and you can put it on TV.
Yeah. Which exactly.
Is what I always wanted.
It's a perfect transition, because the problem is, and what people don't realize is, obviously the older fans of Pokemon, a lot of Pokemon fans these days, their first and only experience with Pokemon is Pokemon Go. They've never played another Pokemon game. They've never watched the anime series or anything like that. So what they know of Pokemon is Pokemon Go. So that's all they think it is. So if you then go and throw a fully fledged Pokemon game out next, that transition's not going to happen because they will be like, that's scary, don't like it, it's too different. Whereas this is the perfect bridging gap to get all of those new fans from Pokemon Go into Pokemon games, into the big RPG next year.
I was going to say, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's Gen 7 next year.
Yeah.
This is going to be mechanics, enjoy
the perfect way to transition all this new blood into that. And it's going to make it much more of a sociable experience, in my opinion.
Nice stepping
But
stone.
but people are giving it a bad name because they're like, oh, if it's for new fans, it's going to be crap. No, shut up. Look underneath the skin of it, and there is such a nostalgic game for Gen 1 fans there. I mean, it's a successor to fucking Yellow as well. Like, what more do you want? You know,
I can't wait.
It's retreading familiar ground with new mechanics to set up.
We're going back to Kanto with Gen 1 Pokemon. I never thought. I mean, I remember specifically saying to Ed and Liam last year, maybe, or the year before, I love a Gen 1 game. It's never going to happen because people would bitch too much. And lo and behold, here it is. So
it needed to be a Gen 1 game, though, I think, because you need to go back to the start to bring it to the not end, but you know what I mean.
It's a nice introductory as well to it, because obviously again, I haven't played this new one that's going to come out next month. And
a week yesterday, a month yesterday, even.
So, and
it's exciting.
Seriously, I can't wait. This end of this year is going to be amazing. We've got Red Dead next week. We've got Pokemon next month. Like, oh my god!
I'm going to the midnight launch with Luke, James, and my housemate.
Oh my god!
I don't even want the game. I'm not even buying it.
No, I'm not buying it. Yeah.
I'm waiting till it comes out on PC. Fuck that. I'm not paying for the PS.
No, I'm not getting it twice. I agree. I'm gonna wait.
I don't even really want it once.
So that was Pokemon Go. Did you see you had a second one as well?
I did, but I don't think I need it anymore. It was just, I've got a recommendation of a YouTuber to watch, just a guy called Billiam, who I think is really brilliant at the moment, and he's been a big influence on my videos lately.
Billiam.
Especially if you like Digimon or things like that. I think I sent it to our Clubit before.
You did, yeah. You sent a link to me for his review on Digimon. Very good. Yeah, very good video.
Absolutely brilliant. I just think he's fantastic. He's been a massive influence on my latest videos that I've done, which have all been video essays. Highly recommend you check him out. Thank you. I highly recommend you check him out because he'll talk you through Digimon. He recently did Dungeon Dice Monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! He's just brilliant. And he also followed me on Twitter because I found him on Twitter, followed him, mentioned that I was a big fan of him and tweeted about him and linked one of his videos. He retweeted and followed me back. Aww. So I was like a little fanboy moment for me. I was like, oh, yeah.
Like I said, when I was thinking about this the night, you know when your brain starts going over into overload. I said to you, like, I was getting really stressed out about it, actually, Ed, and my girlfriend was like, "You need a drink." Opened a bottle of wine, and literally I then sat down and sort of made a list of different ideas that I wanted to suggest. And like I said, I've had to pick. There's there's YouTube channels which do documentaries, which are really interesting within like the gaming and geek and stuff like that. But the one which is I wanted to suggest because it's actually free. I'm a massive audio book listener, mainly because when I'm doing like video content or Photoshop or things like that, excuse me, that I like to listen to something else as I'm sort of working. Obviously, when editing video, it's a bit tricky, but in between exporting and rendering, it's nice to have something on. And before I listened to audiobooks, I'd watch like Netflix, such as like Daredevil, as we've just spoken about. And this one was suggested to me. And it's based on Wolverine, and it's called Wolverine: The Long Dark. And it's not in the sense of an audiobook because it's not like he then stepped through the door or anything like that. It was more of a radio drama.
Right. Okay, cool.
And it's done episodically, and it's free on iTunes, and I believe on a few other places. It might be on SoundCloud as well. There's adverts at the beginning, there's adverts in the middle, and adverts at the end, which are a little bit annoying because they're very much American-based. It's all about like weird things like house insurance and things like that, which doesn't tie to the content at all. But it starts off like the first episode, which I'll talk about a little bit, and I won't go then any further because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But it's following two special agents, and it's all pretty much told from their point of view. And they're investigating some quite disturbing murders that have happened, and it goes this isn't for children either, by the way. I just want to clarify that it's quite graphic on the way that they tell of what they've seen and what they hear. It's quite scary as well. And basically they find out that there's been someone called Logan who's moved into the local area. It's a very small fishing village, and basically they come across a boat, and 12 men have literally been butchered to death. And I believe one of the descriptions was that the guy had claws across his, been clawed across his face, and his eyeball had been split open. And it was like really, really graphic. And then there's obviously something else happened, because there were some packages that were on board which had now gone missing, and so they're investigating that there could be something else happening and something's being covered up. And like I said, Logan is in the village somewhere, and they're slowly following like the breadcrumbs. And there's been like bar fights, there's been issues, and there's like a strange cult as well, which is near the village. But the whole ambience of how it's been recorded is absolutely gorgeous. Like when two people are talking, they've obviously split it up to be in one ear you hear someone, and in the other ear you hear the other person. So it's like as if they're actually talking to each other. And you actually feel sometimes that you're actually sat in the room with them as they're discussing
That's interesting.
things. And it's really strange, but it's quite therapeutic to listen to as well, because it's.
I have a bit of a problem with those if it's done poorly, because some people, Rick and Morty, try doing this, and their sound designers go over the top, and they pan things too extreme. When you're listening to a conversation, you don't hear it through your right ear.
It's not so severe, but it's like as if...
No, but that's how Rick and Morty did it.
Oh, right.
It really winds me up, because that's just not how sound works.
It was like as if someone in the room... You can actually sit there and almost feel like they're moving from one side slowly across, and you can hear them walking across the room. And there's been a few times when I've been walking the dog, listening to it, and there'll be a sound, and they'll be out in the forest or something, like, because they're investigating something, and I actually think there's something behind me. And a few times I've just sort of looked on my shoulder, oh no, it's the audiobook. But it's very, very
weird.
graphic. It's really, really good, really, really good. And
What did you listen to this on?
This was on iTunes. It's called Wolverine: The Long Dark. In fact, I think they've been releasing an episode every Friday, and we're up to episode 7 now. In fact, I'll just play a little bit. It's free anyway, so we shouldn't be brought down. So it's got a little bit of music behind it as well. Hopefully get to a bit with us actually talking.
Clinic in town, the one the Langlocks set up. If I see them here, it means they're bad off. Sometimes seizuring, suffering cardiac arrest. Can you give me some names? You know.
So it just sounds like you're watching Netflix in the background.
Yeah, that's how it's on. But when you're listening to it within your headphones, it's very dynamic, very dynamic. And like I said, there's background noise, there's music as well. And and like I said, the actual main character isn't Wolverine, even though it's a Wolverine story. If that makes sense.
And what's it called, sorry?
Wolverine: The Long Dark. Like I said, it's free on iTunes. I believe it's in a few other locations as well. I'm sure if you popped it into Google, it'll bring it up. But no, it's really, really good. Definitely worth.
I can't find it, annoyingly.
I'll have a little. If I can, I'll pop it in the chat after the live stream. Wolverine: The Long Dark.
I found it. Never mind. I have found it.
That's the picture of it. It's back to front on the screen, but it looks a bit like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see it.
But yeah, so that was suggestions of the week, guys. We're going to be doing that every week, where we basically throw something in the pot. If anybody in the chat has got something they enjoy, and possibly you think that other people might like it, or if you think that other people might not necessarily know about it, whether it be YouTube channels, Twitch streamers, books, audiobooks, software, video games that we might not necessarily know about, apps on your phone, anything at all, let us know down in the comments, and we'll hopefully have a little chat about it. If there's something that I might not necessarily know as well, if I check into it and go, shit, this is really, really good, might end up popping up on the show as a suggestion with your name attached to it.
Kimi no Nawa by Gibran G. That's what he says. That's a really, really good film. I believe that's your name. I believe that's your name. Quote. Oh. Jim, you've seen Your Name, haven't you? Or have you seen A Silent Voice?
Say again, sorry.
You watched one of these Japanese films. You were talking to Isla about it recently. Did you see Your Name?
Which one was it? I think I watched the one about
Silent
the deaf
Voice.
girl.
Yeah, Silent Voice.
Silent Voice. Yeah, that was beautiful. It is crazy.
Yeah, we'll need to get Isla on one of these podcasts. So
yeah,
we have Mrs. Isla.
It's
possibly
such
you'll
an
be on
emotional
the show
ride,
soon.
that film.
Jonathan Creek is Large Lad Child's suggestion. Old series from the
Jonathan
90s.
Creek,
It's on
I think
Netflix,
the
apparently.
early episodes of Jonathan Creek are amazing. As the later on ones started getting a little bit, I don't think they weren't as creative. I don't think.
No, they run out of real wide.
You should always quit while you're ahead with the series.
Yeah.
That's why Ricky Gervais has been so constantly successful. Is because he never burns out. Because he always quits while he's ahead. 2 series of everything. Stop.
Best way of doing it. Best way of doing it. And that is it, guys. That's the suggestion of the week. That was our last topic of the live stream. Thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, we have got a competition. It's Nintendo themed. It's plushies, and whoever wins gets a choice of whichever plushie they want. There's Toad, Luigi, Mario, and Yoshi, and Koopa available.
Hey.
All you need to do to enter is head over to our Facebook page and share this live stream. Get the word out there. Let everybody know that we're here Wednesday at 8 p.m. And what I'll do is, in the post show, which will start soon, I'll bob up to Facebook, have a look at the shares, and I will pick someone at random. And we'll contact you, and we'll get that sent out to you. Guys, have you got anything planned for the next week?
Yes, I have a 24-hour live stream that is going to be happening this Friday from midday until this Saturday at midday. Ergo 24 hours. So that's going to be difficult and intense, and I'm still slightly ill, so let's hope that goes well. But you guys can join me. I think I'll be doing it on Twitch.
What are you going to be live streaming?
You're asking the wrong guy, mate. Anything and everything.
Cool. So
it's going to be chicken, horse, and cod, surely.
Absolutely. Jim, I hope you'll be there for some of it.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be there for like most of it.
Yay! I'm going to be there for most of Luke and James's as well, because Jim, over to you. When's yours?
I've already done mine.
Yours was the marathon, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I thought that there was a separate one. Okay,
I am going to be doing another big stream. I haven't really talked about it much at the moment because it's going to be in November. It's something that is really personal to me, so I'm not doing it until until I've got it perfect. But I'm going to be doing a live stream, a marathon live stream in sort of the name of mental health awareness.
Cool.
So, but I've been planning it for quite some time because it's going to be, obviously it's something personal to myself, so I want it to be done right. It's a very sensitive issue. So, but yeah, so that's coming in November. I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be beginning or end, but I need to get obviously information correct and agencies that can put people forward to if I need to, etc. So it needs to be done right. But yeah, so I'm planning that in the background at the moment. So.
Cool.
That's coming up.
Well, let's see with all details with that. Let us know and send them over, and we'll get them out
Absolutely.
everywhere. But I'm really gutted I can't get Call of Duty to work on my PC, guy, because I'd love to join you in one of your streams.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So.
That's true.
But you will be able
to
join us on some games. Like, for instance, you might be able to get Ultimate Chicken Horse, which I think is pretty cheap.
That's going to run
Ultimate
crazy
Chicken
easy.
Horse?
Yeah.
It's basically like, I can't really think of a way to describe it.
Let's not describe it to him. Let's just say, buy it, Roger, because it's amazing.
It's so fun.
All you need is a controller. It will run on your PC perfect, and it is one of the funniest party games you'll have ever played. It's fantastic. Yeah,
it's
great.
Ultimate Chicken
Horse.
It's called Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's on Steam.
Okay.
It's also on Nintendo Switch now.
It is.
I tell you what, I will check it out, and I will report back.
Sweet.
And I'll be like, what the fuck?
You need to play it with friends. Don't play it solo.
Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we've still got a competition. Get over to our Facebook page, share the live stream. We're going to go down for a little bit, get the 5-minute counter up, and play a bit of music, and then the post show will start. And if you're listening to our YouTube edited version or onto our podcast version, thank you so much for listening and joining. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are actually listening to us on iTunes, which unfortunately yet we haven't been approved, but hopefully by next week we will be. You are listening to this. Please leave a review and give us a 5-star rating. That'd be amazing. Get our name out there a little bit more. That would be fantastic. So let's say, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow Ed at GameHog Games. Don't forget to follow Luke. No, Luke's not here. James. I was in full swing, you see. It was usually Luke and then James. James on Luke and James Play. Follow me at The Geek Keeper, and we will see you all, hopefully, next week at Wednesday at 8 p.m. for the Halloween special.